Good morning, everyone. So, this is the explanation on the basic concepts and principles of the major social science theories. Okay, so we have this diagram. The three dominant approaches in the social sciences are the positivist social science, then the interpretive social science, and then the critical social science. Now, when we say dominant approaches, so these are the major ways, these are the major methods, approach that the social scientists is using, no, to study society. Okay, so under the positivist social science, we have the structural functionalism. We will be having some examples on that later on. And then under the interpretive social science, we have the symbolic interactionism. We will further understand that as we go along with this discussion. And then the critical social science, which is anchored to the philosophy, the principles of Karl Marx or the Marxism. Okay? So first, let's start with the positivist social science. Okay, this claim, or this is posited by Auguste Comte. As we know that Auguste Comte, or some would say Auguste Comte or Auguste Comte or whatever, this he is the father of sociology, and he also assert this uh, approach, positivist social science. So according to this approach, no, the only, take note ha, the only trustworthy, yung paniniwalaan mo lang tama, is those information coming from or obtained from the rational conducts and the reports of sensory experience. Okay, masyadong evidence-based ito. Pag hindi mo nakita, hindi ka maniniwala, no? Pag hindi mo yung uh, this one, reports from the sensory experience. So I could associate this one to Thomas, no? Yung I guess it's the disciple of Jesus that hindi siya naniniwala na buhay na si Jesus, no? Unless daw mahawakan niya yung mga sugat niya, doon siya maniniwala. So parang ganun yung rational, or ganun yung stand ng theory na ito or ng approach na ito, na hindi paniniwalaan yung mga information na hindi mo nakikita or hindi dumadaan sa mga senses mo. Ito yung claim nito. No? Take note that the positivist social science only believes, or according to this theory, the only trustworthy knowledge is those information coming from the reports or the rational conducts, or those that is yung mararamdaman or makikita, that will yung mararamdaman, makikita, and yung dumaan talaga sa mga senses mo. Yun lang yung totoo. Other than that, hindi na totoo. Okay, so we could say that this positivist social science, they are not believing on spirits, yung mga phenomenon na hindi nakikita. Okay? I hope that's clear. Okay, so under the positivist social science, we have the structural functionalism. Okay, so according to this, uh, parts of the society all contribute to the functional operation of the society system in general. Okay, so mahihintulad natin ito, is please imagine a man, no, the entire man, no, from head to foot. Okay, so all the systems on that particular man should function. Kasi pag hindi nag-function yung isa, for example, hindi nag-function yung hand niya, or hindi nag-function yung mata niya, therefore there is a hindi maganda yung resulta. Okay, so as you can see here in my attachment, that the human society, it involves many structures. No, the we have the economy, we have the religion, we have the education, we have the school, we have the industry. So these structures must function or should operate together, no, to contribute a stable and order to gain a balanced and equitable society. Kasi pag hindi daw nag-function yung isa, for example dito is the issue on functional illiteracy. Okay, sa ganun, may problema kasi may isang structure sa society na hindi nagfa-function well. Okay, so this is the claim of this structural functionalism, that all parts of the society should contribute so that there is a balance, there is stable, and there is orderly and successful society. Okay? All right, so these are the key concepts in the structural functionalism. We will discuss this further. So, based on this diagram, we have the structural functionalism rather, and then this involves is social structure and then the social function. No, structure and function. Okay, so let's start with this social structure. So we have the religion, no, the church, we have the government, we have the school, and we have the media. Okay, so these are the structure that is operating well, should operate well within the society. Kasi pag may isa dito na babagal-bagal, wala, hindi masyadong maganda yung kahihinatnan, no, ng society na yan. Okay, and we also have the social functions or dysfunctions. So we have the manifest function. I will further discuss this one. Manifest, ibig sabihin, expected or intended function ng isang structure. Okay? And then the latent function or the unintended function. Hindi mo inaasahan pero nangyayari. Okay? That's latent function. Okay, so let's have this social function. Uh, they this refers to the results or effects for the operation of the society in general. So, for example, education or the school has a number of significant purposes in a society, such as socialization and learning. So, that is the basic function of the school, no? To, of course, provide learning and to teach these kids know the skills, knowledge, and also how these people will socialize with each other. Okay, so we have family. Okay, so family, this can be treated as having essential functions for society, such as providing sexual, reproduction, economic, and educational needs for its members. So this is the function of the family within the society. Na yung pamilya daw, they are expected no to produce siblings. Okay? And the parents are expected not to provide economic and educational needs and all the needs of their kids. That is the basic social function of the family. Okay? Next, we have media. Although there are plenty of structure, yung dinidiscuss lang natin dito, it's yung very relevant lang. Okay, so we have the media. So the basic social function of the media is to provide the social function of mirroring the concerns of the audience. Kasi yung media, minimirror niya yung nangyayari sa lipunan, di ba? Pag, ah, nag-aano sila, nag-i-investigate ng anong pangyayari sa lipunan, and then nire-report nila yan through news. So it mirrors ano yung nangyayari sa lipunan, and then yung mga tao din na nanonood, no, ng mga balita, maa-aware din sila. So that is why the basic, no, function of media is really to mirror, no, what is happening in the society so that other people will know. Okay? And then religion. This is another social structure, and it has an expected function. So sa religion, yung expected social function niya is to contribute to the well-being of the society by teaching morality. Thus, it provides social stability and order. Ito yung so basic social function. Ito yung inaasahan, no, na makukontribute ng religion to the society, no? It provides social stability and order. Bakit? Kasi may mga laws, no? May mga commandments tayong sinusunod, no? Alam natin, pag nagsisimba tayo, alam natin yung tama at ang mali, no? So it is really evident that the people who is religious will always a moral person kasi pipiliin niya yung tama. Gagawin niya yung tama. Na kung lahat ng mga tao ay ginagawa ang tama, wala sanang gulo. Okay, so this is the basic, basic social function of religion. So I have attached here basic mga very famous, no, religion, very established. Now, we have the Islam, and then Judaism and Christianity. Ito yung mga religion na inaasahan, no, na magko-contribute ng social stability sana, no, na at order sa lipunan. Okay? All right, so we will discuss the social function. This is under social function, and then under that, there is a manifest and latent function. No, na-mention ko yan kanina, no, based sa diagram. When we say manifest, this is according to American sociologist Robert Merton. So pag sinasabi natin na manifest function, these are those functions that are intentional and known. Okay? This refers to the function which people suppose and anticipated to fulfill by the institution. Ito yung inaasahan, no, na pag maririnig natin yung isang structure na yan, like religion, yung inaasahan natin, yung manifest function niya is to provide uh, stability, order, morality to the people. Pag sinasabi naman natin na school, yung manifest function niya is to provide learning, no? Provide, teach kids on socialization. There is discipline, no, in school. Okay, that is their manifest function. Ibig sabihin, ito yung inaasahan na resulta, na magiging resulta sa ginagawa nila, sa structure na yan. Okay? Now, we also have the latent function or the unexpected effect of the institution. Hindi inaasahan, pero nangyayari. Okay, that's latent function, unexpected. For example, the latent function of religion would be contributing entertaining facilities and courtship prospects to its youth members. So naririnig natin ito na may mga religion na ganito, okay? May nangyayari. Hindi nila gusto pero nangyayari. Okay, marami 'yan na para bang hindi na inline kung ano yung function nila. Pero hindi inaasahan, may mga negative, no, ng nangyayari as that institution is functioning. Okay? So, meron ba na nagpo-provide ng entertaining facilities and courtship prospects? Marami yan, no? Mga latent function. Okay? So, we also have the social dysfunction Also, the social dysfunction is a manifest dysfunction and a latent dysfunction. Excuse me. Pag sinasabing manifest dysfunction, these are kasi dysfunction disruption yan, no? These are expected disruption of social life. So for example, the manifest dysfunction of heavy migration from rural to urban might include overpopulation and unemployment. Expected disruption of that certain dysfunction. Okay? So, ang latent dysfunction naman niya, it might include, no, pag maraming nagta-transfer, maraming nagmamigrate from provinces or rural to the cities or the urban areas, this might cause many crime, no, due to massive unemployment kasi marami na sila dun sa syudad. Hindi na nai-employ lahat. So, ah, marami ng mga crime. Like, marami nang magnanakaw, no, just to survive. Okay? Which is generated from this migration. Okay? Alright, so we are done with the positivist social science. No, that is merely very evidence-based, parang ganon. And then, we now be discussing the interpretive social science. So, the first one is the positivist social science. Yung claim niya, ano ba yung claim ng positivist? Okay, yung claim ng positivist, yung paniniwalaan lang daw, yung only trustworthy knowledge are those information and reports or from rational conducts and reports of sensory experience. Yun lang daw ang totoo at yun lang daw ang paniniwalaan, no? Here, as we compare that to the interpretive social science, this is an approach that claim, sabi dito, people create and associate their own subjective meaning as they interact with the world around them. Okay, so hence, this further claims that our knowledge of reality, yung reality daw, is only socially constructed. That is why there is no objective reality. Ito yung claim ng interpretive social science. Wala daw absolute or wala daw objective reality. Kasi yung reality na yan is socially constructed. Therefore, kung ano yung reality dito sa society na ito might not be a reality doon sa ibang society. For example, uh, the union of a man and a woman. No? Example natin yan. Pag sa mga uh, Catholic or sa mga Christian, Catholic, no? Para sa atin, si man should only love one woman. That is our reality. But that reality is no longer a reality to our Muslim brothers because they are allowed, it's part of their society that they are allowed to have more than one wives rather. Okay? So, yun the reality is socially constructed. That's how a society is interpreting a certain phenomena. Then that is their reality. Yung ibang society naman, ito rin yung pananaw, ito rin yung paniniwala nila. That's how they interpret that. Then yun din yung reality nila. Okay, is that clear? Okay. So let's understand this. Under the interpretive social science, we have the symbolic interactionism. So this claims that symbols help us understand how we view society and communicate each other. Okay. So dito muna tayo yung mga mata ninyo dito sa diagram na ito. Okay, symbolic interactionism theory. So, ang thinking ng babae na ito, na pag lumapit sila dito sa puno, it will provide them shade, no? Look at that. That's how, no, she imagined that these three will these three rather will contribute good benefit to her. Pero yung lalaki, yung ano niya, yung interpretation niya, yung paniniwala niya na pag pumunta sila dito sa ilalim ng puno, maraming mga insects na magiging hindi siya komportable, 'di ba? So the other woman, the woman here, she interpreted that she can benefit, no, the shade of the tree. But then the man here is parang hindi siya komportable, no? Kung lalapit siya sa puno na ito. So that's symbolic interactionism. Now when we say symbol, that is something that represents an object, an emotion, a process, and etc. in the real world. In the real world. So the interaction is how the meaning of a symbol is interpreted and modified through social action. So dito, as we go back here, so the symbol sana para sa girl, the symbol of a tree will provide comfort kasi may shade, no? Will provide comfort to her. Pero as she interact with this man, no, na parang uncomfortable siya pag lumapit siya dito sa kahoy kasi may mga insects, nag-iiba yung pag-interpret niya based on how they interact, no? The interpretation is modified, no, through the social interaction. That is symbolic interactionism. Okay? Okay, so let's move on to the critical social science. This is an analytical method. Kaya nga critical. Analytical. It involves a very keen investigation that attempts to expose surface illusion to uncover the real structure. No, grabe yung to uncover the the reality structure in the material world in order to help people understand their situation and then transform the world for the better. That's it. This is critical social science. So this is under this one is Marxism or the philosophy of Karl Marx. Kilala natin siya, 'di ba? Okay, so it emphasizes the importance of questioning, no? Dito kasi critical na siya, investigating, analytical, hindi na tayo pwedeng mag-submit on the status quo, yung kung ano lang yung nakasanayan yun na. Hindi pwede dito. This is critical social science. It emphasizes the importance of questioning, no, dominant cultural narratives. Bakit ganito? Tama ba ito? Okay, and promoting voices of marginalized groups. This critical theory sees power as unevenly distributed. Okay, kasi noon hanggang ngayon, no? This is evident in our community, in our society, that there are really the capitalists, there are the bourgeoisie, there are the proletariat, and then there are slaves, no? There are capitalists, no? And used to maintain and reproduce social inequality. Okay? So, may unfair daw yung society kasi maraming mga taong nag-own ng mga mayayaman, no? They have the power, they have money. Pero may mga tao din na marginalized, yung kawawa, yung mga poor. Okay? And it seeks to challenge and transform power structure in the pursuit of social justice and equality. Meron dito the idea of communism, no? Ayaw nila ng mga kapitalista, yung mga laborers na sobra-sobra yung binigay na effort, surplus value. tapos konti lang yung binibigay. Yung pagtitreat nila ng mga labor nila as an object, no? As an object. That's the idea of alienation. This we will discuss that further on our next topic. Okay, so this is just ito lang muna ngayon. And then next presentation I will discuss further on the sub principle of critical social science, the Marxism. So very interesting 'yan. Yung mga alienation, yung mga surplus value, yung mga praxis and so on. This is a very interesting subject and I really hope that you appreciate this one because this is reality. Ito yung nangyayari sa lipunan natin. And then as you go along, now as you learn these concepts, you can really use this one, no, as you decide, as you live, no, in the future. So this is very interesting subject talaga. All right, so um, this ito muna ngayon and more discussions on the next presentation that we will be having. Thank you so much and kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel. God bless us all.